Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, we are yapping about the top 5 draft classes from the past year's 2025 NFL draft. There's 5 teams that stand out over the other 27 teams by a mile. Let's break them down. The first draft class we're looking at is the Cleveland Browns. And yes, this is all known. This is the draft class that saved Andrew Berry's job. He did well. He traded. He gained picks. Starting off with the Jaguars trade back. From 2 to 5, he acquired an additional 2nd, 4th, and their 2026 pick, being number 24 for next year. That was a great start. He used his first pick on Mason Graham. At the end of the season, you started to see him get comfortable, be his own. Myles Garrett broke the sack record, not just because of himself, but because the efforts around him. Mason Graham did a great job at taking double teams. Yes, the sack totals are nowhere near there. Only half a sack this year. But hey, we aren't box score watchers. He totaled 39 tackles, the most from a defensive lineman, 7 for loss. He also played 90% of snaps, 36 total pressures. And like I said, it's a great pick. He takes bodies away from Myles Garrett. He showed that he can be a pass rushing, run stuffing, defensive tackle. He should improve. It's not something to get excited about. He was the 5th overall pick. He's going to keep getting better. This is only the start for Mason Graham. The 2nd pick of their class, Carson Schwarzenegger, probably the steal of the draft. He'd be going top 15 at the linebacking position if there was a redo. He is the Rookie of the Year favorite by a country mile. He's going to be a captain. He's going to wear the green dot. He's going to be an all-pro. He's going to be their middle linebacker for the next 5 to 10 years. He got 43 all-pro votes this year. He is so good at reading the run. He shoots out of a rocket. The options going his way get killed. He does not over-anticipate anything. He stays on his feet. He tallied this season 156 tackles, 11 TFLs, 3 sacks, 18 total pressures. I don't think that's bad at all for the former UCLA walk-on. Their 3rd pick in this draft, Quinshon Judkins. This one sucks. He was showing out. Whenever the game script was in his favor, he was playing awesome. But sadly, he went down with a disgusting injury. Dislocated ankle, fractured fibula. He did avoid ligament damage, thank God. So he will be back. They'll anticipate him being back before week 1. But who knows? It may be a Godwin type situation where they hold him back just for precaution. Before that injury, he was at 230 attempts for 870 yards. Just a mere 3.6 yards per attempt. Remember, his quarterbacks were Joe Flacco, Shedeur Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel. He was also making his name known in the receiving game, which he is going to be a 3-down back. He has everything you need. He just needs to learn how to pass protect a little bit better. He's the best downhill runner in the league already, one of them. He had the league highest 45% rate of 8 defenders in the box. 514 yards after contact. 2.2 yards after contact per attempt. 62% of his yards were after contact, good for 2nd in the NFL. He is going to be a beast. The injury just pushes him back a year. He's the future. The Browns kick butt. My favorite player from this class, Harold Fannin Jr. He can do everything. He's a little small. That's why he fell in the draft. He was their 3rd, 4th round pick. His lack of size hasn't done anything to him in the receiving game. Every time he touches the ball, he'll break a tackle. He can line up anywhere on the football field. Out wide, in the slot, at fullback, at tight end. Dude, put him at offensive tackle, he'd work. He ended the season with 72 catches, 730 yards, and 7 touchdowns on the Cleveland Browns. Yes, you would have thought the greatest college season from a tight end ever translates to the NFL. Wow. Good pick, Browns. He is a yak demon. He is a weapon at the tight end position. It's an advantage. Having a tight end like this guy, especially in the 3rd or 4th round, he'd be a 1st round pick. He'd go up with Warren and Loveland 100%. He is so good. He's a total advantage against linebackers and safeties on my field. He's my favorite pick of their draft. Harold Fannin is going to be a top 5 tight end for years to come. It gets rocky with the next selections. Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. We understood what they were doing. They were trying to find a guy. Dylan Gabriel was never going to be that guy. Shedeur Sanders has shown a little bit of flashes, but there's nothing that tells me either of these guys are going to be the future. Yes, they had a terrible offensive line, the worst receiving core in the league. Once Cedric Tillman went down, you were just throwing to Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy is not the number one receiver you want to be helping your quarterback out. He sucks. They both look like backup quarterbacks. Shedeur, he showed more the willingness to get the ball down the field compared to Gabriel, but they're both atrocious. Shedeur holds on to the ball too long. Gabriel holds on to the ball too long as well, except he can't even get the ball to the receiver's hands. He throws it at their feet because he's a midget. They can both still improve, right? Dylan Gabriel's played a lot of football. Shedeur, there's no hope for these Browns quarterbacks, in my opinion. They both suck. But hey, what a draft class for the Cleveland Browns. This is a step in the right direction. It saved Andrew Berry's job. They did well. They played their rookies. Take notes, Pete Carroll and the Raiders. God. The New Orleans Saints are the next team up. What a start to a rebuild from Kellen Moore, a team that is in cap hell. They had no talent going into this year, and they added some, that's for sure. Tyler Shaw looks like he can be the guy. He played winning football down the end of the season. Yes, the competition wasn't too crazy, but he showed he can move around the pocket. He can hit. He's very accurate. He can change his arm angles. He's not being talked about enough. Yes, he's a 26-year-old rookie, but guess what? If he's the truth, the franchise, you're going to have him for 10 to 15 years no matter what. So what matters, right? He started 11 games this past season, 67% completion, probably above 70 adjusted completion. I don't know why I didn't look at that. I'm sorry. 2,300 total yards, 13 TDs to 7 turnovers, while having zero run game to run behind. He was only throwing to Chris Olave and Jawan Johnson. Tyler Shaw is a good quarterback. If he started this whole season, I believe they would have won the division. The Saints' best pick from this draft. Yes, you can't really beat a quarterback, except when it's a blind side blocker. Kelvin Banks. What a pick. This is a guy that my film knower for offensive lineman, Sanji T, Raiders film breakdown legend, he knew Kelvin Banks was going to be a beast. He wanted the Raiders to pick him, and the Saints got him. He has been a dog. He's allowed just 5 sacks this year. 46 QB pressures is a little up there. But he's a rookie left tackle learning a new position, being left on an island. Yeah, I don't think you could go wrong with making a Trench pick in 2025 and in the future. Trench is always the way to go. He's one of the best left tackles when left on an island, like I said, and he's only a rookie. He will be an all-pro. If not, he'll be a Colton Miller level pro for years to come in New Orleans. The Saints' third-round pick, Vernon Broughton, went down with a hip injury week 2. But they're another great pick late in the draft, Jonas Sanker. He has been a beast for them in the back end of this defense. He's shown the ability to drop deep in coverage, come up and make a play for a tackle. He has insane instincts when making plays on the ball. He ended the season, he started 15 games as a rookie. 75 tackles, 6 pass deflections, 2 interceptions. What a season for Jonas Sanker. That sounds like 3 guys who are going to be playing football for a long time for the Saints. Another great picks in the 4th round. Quincy Riley, Danny Statesman. They both saw the field a decent amount. Statesman, the linebacker, not as much. He rotated in, totaling 53 tackles. That shows that they see something in him. He will be the starter in a year or two, 100%. But Quincy Riley, I saw his college tape last year, and he rose up the draft boards. He was in some people's top 100s, and he showed that this year. He only started 5 games, but he showed tight coverage, the will to hit somebody, he's going to be their starter next year. He is very sticky in coverage. He's very physical for his size at 5'11", has awesome ball skills. When I watched him, he kind of reminded me of Marcus Peters, the Rams version. Nothing else. The Rams version. Devin Neal. He was a late round, 6th round pick. Backup running back. He showed some juice. He'll be viable. But the Saints added 4 future starters to this team. Talk about kicking off a rebuild right, Kellen Moore. The New York Giants absolutely crushed the 2025 NFL Draft. Jackson Dart, you saved Joe Schoen's job. Listen, that's the worst case scenario for Giants fans. Every single one of you watching this video probably want him sacked. He is garbage. He let Saquon walk inside Darius drop Slayton for the same exact price. A couple million more dollars. But hey, 3 draft picks saved his job. And Dable is the guy who wanted Dart. No one else can tell me otherwise. Jackson Dart showed promise to be that franchise guy. One clear issue I have with him, even before the draft, John Gruden let me know through his video with Jackson Dart. Get the hell down. I hate seeing you get hit. If he was the size of Josh Allen and Justin Herbert, I would be totally fine with him taking those hits. But he's not. I want him on the field. Your best ability is your availability. Jackson Dart, I want to see you play 16 games a season. Get down. You're too good. His season ended with starting 12 games, 73% adjusted completion percentage, 24 touchdowns to 6 turnovers, while also adding 500 rushing yards through the ground. He was number 15 in EPA per play at .09. He showed he can make throws outside the numbers. That was one of my big issues with him towards the draft. But hey, he had a terrible receiving group. Darius dropped Slayton. Wan'Dale Robinson was his best guy. Theo Johnson, Mr. 6'7" for nothing. Dude plays like he's 6'2". Not to mention, no Malik Neighbors whatsoever. He needs to stay healthy, though. I want to see Dart play 16 games, 17 games a season, including the playoffs. Not just a handful of games here and there. Their first pick of this draft was Abdul Carter at number 3. What a season for Abdul Carter. He is next up at the defensive end position. I see depoys in his future. He made Brian Burns have like 14 sacks. It's the worst double-digit sack season I've seen of all time. Go watch his 10 sacks in a clip. But Abdul Carter had a monster year. He was the 8th highest in snaps at the DN position. He put up 66 pressures, 11th in the NFL. Totaled just 5 sacks, 18 QB hits, good for 4th. 43 QB hurries, 9th in the league. 2 forced fumbles. And he was a whopping 4th overall in pass rush win rate. Talk about hitting it out of the park with the 3rd overall pick. It just fell into your hands. And you take him. And it worked. He's shown growth. After the season, he started talking as a leader. He'll be a captain in the future. Abdul Carter's going to be so damn good in this league. Cam Scatterbo, another awesome pick for the Giants. Probably the most obvious transition from the college to the NFL. A running back who is a wrecking ball and can catch the ball elitely. I can't believe he went in the 4th round. He should have been up there with Henderson, with Judkins, for sure, with RJ Harvey. Oh my God. But his season, he was one of the most exciting player to watch in the NFL before, sadly, he got hurt, just like Malik Neighbors. He dislocated his ankle, he ruptured his deltoid, and fractured his tibia. It sucks. The shortened season, yes, but let's look at the bright side. Throughout his time, he played in 8 games, tailed 100 carries for 400 yards, 5 touchdowns on the ground, while also receiving 32 targets, 24 catches, and 200 yards through the air. And another 2 touchdowns, 7 total. After he went out, you saw the ineffectiveness of the running backs, except for when it mattered most in the tank weeks. The Giants started running the ball. They started playing their best football. What do you expect? They always do that in tank season. Cam Scatterbo should be ready for training camp. These three guys were the highlights of their class and saved Joe Schoen's job. The Atlanta Falcons had a great draft on the defensive side of the ball. It was not able to save Raheem Morris or their GM's job. But let's start at the top. James Pierce, the second pick of the first round, they actually traded their next year's pick for him. So it was a gamble. And if we're going to be honest, it looks great on paper. I love James Pierce coming out of college. He showed the power, the quickness, just the things that in college that make you jump off the script. He was going to be a top 5 pick. He lost money for being a dumbass. But hey, his game translated quicker than expected. I think he tallied 38 pressures, 14% pass rush win rate. But he showed very obvious negatives to his game. He is abysmal in the run game. It's so bad, it's almost like you have to take him out on first and second downs. He's that bad. He had negative 18 expected tackles, and he didn't have many tackles this year. I hate a DN who can't run because he's capped. He needs to learn how to defend in the run, and he will be a good DN in this league. His sack total was also inflated. He wins on pass rushing downs. He is a strict pass rush winning defensive end right now. He is not the depoy like fans will say because he has 10.5 sacks. That's not how the sport works. 10.5 sacks. Yes, Brian Burns got 10 sacks by just running into a person. I could have gotten 10 sacks that Brian Burns got. I could have gotten some of the sacks that James Pierce got. My issue is his set of tricks. He relies too much on his strength. He needs to figure out a bag of tricks. It's that simple. I expect James Pierce to keep getting better. He got better as the year went on. But his season, he overperformed his metrics. 100%. Jalen Walker, on the other side, finished with 5.5 sacks, 23 pressures, 36 tackles. He was the opposite of James Pierce. He excels in the run game. He needs to work on his pass rush a little bit. He is extremely versatile. He can line up anywhere on the line of scrimmage. He's a Swiss Army knife. They're going to be, I've already said it, James Pierce and Jalen Walker are going to be one of the top pass rushing duos for years to come. They're so fun to watch. They're so fast. They're quick. They're great. This defense got so much better. You could see it within their sacks, their pressures. How about the secondary? Next to Jesse Bates, Xavier Watts. Why isn't this guy in depoy for Rookie of the Year race with Schlesinger? He should be right up there. He tallied 5 picks, played 100% of the snaps. He had almost 100 tackles at the safety position in his first year. He is smart. He's decisive. From Notre Dame, dude, I swear, my God. He had 10 pass deflections, 65% completion percentage when targeted, 90% pass rating when targeted, only 9 missed tackles. He is the definition of a first-round pick in a redraft. When I look at this draft class, based off production this season, they could have easily been number 1. This is 3 starters with, my opinion, all-pro level ceilings in the future. Great job, Falcons. The New England Patriots by far had the best season out of all these teams because of a guy named Drake May. But what did they do to change this team from a poop team from last year to a playoff number 1 seed competitor this year? Well, they figured out the offensive line. With the first pick, they drafted Will Campbell. Yes, he's not as good as Armand Membu or Kelvin Banks, but he's just right in New England. He's a competitor. He's going to keep getting better. I love players who show their heart, and that's what Will Campbell is. That's how I know he's going to keep getting better. He's helped turn this offensive line from an atrocious unit last year. They were bottom 5. Drake May was getting put on his butt. He still is this year, but they're a top 20 unit this year at least. Drake May has been awesome for them. They also drafted Jared Wilson, the center turned guard, in the 3rd round this past year. Will Campbell so far this year has allowed 5 sacks, only 7 penalties, and 26 pressures total. That is awesome for your first year in blindside, especially for a guy who has short arms. Man, draft analysts just say anything to hurt a player's draft stock, I guess. But Jared Wilson, on the other side, 3rd round pick, has allowed 4 sacks, 3 penalties, and allowing just 28 pressures. They have a humongous test this week facing Houston in that run front. Will Anderson is going against Will Campbell. They've matched up before in college, and Will Campbell held his own. Yes, Will Anderson is a menace. I would not be wanting to line up across that dude. Will Campbell, I wish you the best of luck, and this is why you were picked. For games like Houston, you got to show up, or else you're going to be called a bust for this year. It's that simple. It really is that simple. This is one game is all that matters in the NFL sometimes, because that's all you're remembered for. Until next year. Travion Henderson, their second-round pick of this past draft class, he delivered on everything he was drafted to be, while being held back by coaching. He's already totaled 4 50-yard touchdown runs. They call him House Call Hendy for a reason. He's going to continue to get better. Ramondre Stevenson is the perfect back next to him. Ramondre is a great pass protector. Hendy needs to work on that. And then we will see him fully expand with 250-plus touches, hopefully, and see him run for 1,500 yards in the season. Over this season, he totaled 180 carries, 911 yards, 9 TDs, 5 yards per carry. That's Travion Henderson from Ohio State. He's a freaking beast. 35 catches to go for 220 yards and another touchdown. He needs to be used more in pass game. But hey, that's his fault. He needs to learn how to pass protect better. He gave up a huge sack this past week against the Chargers, too. That does not go blown by. Another great pick for the Patriots in this draft was Craig Woodson. Another guy at the safety position who's starting 15 games was a mid-round pick. He totaled 79 tackles, 3 pass deflections, and 2 fumble recoveries this year. He's shown plenty of room to improve. When targeted, he allows 135 passer rating against. My issue with him is he's just a little too aggressive. He needs to learn how to stay in structure of the defense. He has the knack for wanting to make every little play. I want to make the game-changing play. He needs to just learn how to make the right play for his position instead of making the one that gives up the 80-yard bomb over the post because you overplay it. It's that simple. He's a rookie. He's learning. It's the safety position. Very hard to learn when you're playing deep. He's also an awesome tackler. He showed that this past week against the Chargers, coming up in the box, making tackles for loss. He also had no rookie treatment. He's going to be good. This is only the start for Craig Woodson. Nice last name to have, Woodson. The Patriots had a lot of picks in this draft. They ended up selecting rookie kicker Andres Borregales. He's been good, making 27 of 32 kicks, going 4-4 from 50-plus yards. I don't think he's been challenged officially yet, thanks to Drake May and this dominant offense. But the playoffs have big moments for kickers. I'm ready to see him kick a ball. Kyle Williams showed some flashes. I expect to see him in a bigger role next year. He is a great rounder here. He is twitchy, great releases, and he's learning from Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is all you can ask for as a receiver in your pass group. All he does is talk. He wants to get better. He wants to figure out what's going wrong. He is going to guide Kyle Williams to greatness. Stephon Diggs. I have full faith in that. The Patriots are where they are for a reason. Thanks to this draft class, Drake May is not on his butt 70 times compared to last year. All 5 of these teams have shown they are moving in the right direction. The Patriots already made the playoffs. The Falcons improved towards the season. The Giants got better at the end of the season. The Browns won some games. The Saints won some games. I expect two or three of these teams to make the playoffs next year. Every franchise starts through the draft. Look at the Raiders. They've sucked for years. Look at the Niners. They've been great for years. Guess why? One team's good at drafting. The other sucks. Let me know if I left any team off this list. I don't believe the Panthers were close. The Bears were close. But when it comes to production, these 5 teams ran laps around everybody in the 2025 NFL Draft. I'll catch y'all boys tomorrow.